Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. Today looking at the Silverstone British Grand Prix, which has just finished. It's on my left. It was another kind of race. So stick around for that and remember to subscribe.
Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So, honestly, if you can get a puncture on the last lap, but be so far ahead of the competition that you can still win the race, there's a problem with the sport. And it's the constant... This was so easy for Hamilton again. His legacy still means nothing. It's impressive that he won with a puncture. It didn't fall apart, damage the car. But it's just not entertaining to watch. This doesn't happen in any other form of motorsport. Colin Turkington doesn't win races with punctures in a BMW. He does win a championship when he's crabbing. And if you remember that, you're as sad as I am. So this was just another boring procession race. Not a lot of overtaking. There's a few in the midfield. Entertainment was probably provided by Stroll. He raced quite well and then started dropping back, so we saw him go both ways. As for that, Hulkenberg didn't even get to take the race, which was really, really sucky for him. It would have been nice to see him back in the car. He did quite well during qualifying, at least average. And then the car just doesn't want to start, so no Hulkenberg. Magnussen and Albon got together. Albon got the blame for this, so I think that's a bit harsh. I think Magnussen made a mistake, he went on the curbs, ran wide. Albon should be allowed to go for it, but it was clumsy, so maybe it is fair. Neither driver is doing too well at the moment anyway. Haas still no points. I think they're still behind Williams, which is quite embarrassing for them. It's not going great for them. Albon, when is his time up? Because Gasly didn't even get this much of a chance. It's now, it was at least probably about the same. He qualified badly again. He was stuck in the midfield, and when you're stuck in the midfield, the chances of you making contact with someone is always higher. And he did, and it ruined his race. Yeah, towards the end of the race, he was quick. He was parking the midfield. He was passing the midfield cars. He got into the points. Well done, and you still finished behind Gasly. Daniel Kvyat, massive smash. I'm glad he's alright. He mostly looked pissed off. Again, he's another driver who I think this will be his last year. His time's passed. I don't see him ever getting back in a Red Bull. So, his last year, if he can just score points and keep his head down, he will be at Le Mans or something next year. What else happened? Oh, Raikkonen lost his front wing or puncture. That was the start of the punctures, I think, actually, wasn't it, Raikkonen? So it's Alfa Romeo, no pace whatsoever. I'm not impressed with the car or either driver. Yeah, that was when Bottas got his puncture. It was like 3 laps left. Championship is over. Hamilton is now champion. Bottas has the worst luck of any driver, because this shit does not happen to anyone else. Only him. And last week it was the jump start. This week he gets the puncture with 3 laps to go, not the last lap. That's it. I'm not sure if he was driving too hard, hitting curbs. It was just the heat, the track, whatever. Sainz got a puncture as well, and that was a shame because he had a great race. He made a great start, challenging for 5th. He got past Grosjean when he needed to. He was right there. Again, Lando Norris, fantastic driver. Driver of the year so far is Lando Norris. Hamilton may be winning all the races, but you expect that, so who cares? Norris is far exceeding the high expectations I had for him. He, at the moment, is my driver of the year. Absolutely brilliant drive again. More points. I think he's ahead of Sainz in the championship at the moment. Renault's did well. Ricciardo and Ocon were both up there in the midfield for most of it, but at least they were keeping pace with the McLarens. Stroll, I expected much better from Racing Point. Their form before this, when they qualified third or fourth at Hungary, it's like, well, Racing Point are in with a chance now. They're going to be a top midfield team. It hasn't happened in the races. Both Perez and Stroll were disappointing in Hungary. Stroll was disappointing in this one. He managed to cling on for points, but it wasn't great for him or Racing Point. So who else do we talk? Verstappen had another great drive, but it's honestly such a waste of his talents at the moment. This whole competition is just... He might as well be doing something else. There's no point being in Formula 1 when Mercedes are there. So he's making his teammate look bad. That's all you can say about Verstappen. Leclerc got on the podium. Vettel was awful. I think Vettel might have squeaked a point with all the punctures going on. But Vettel, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Ferrari replaced him mid-season. Because you don't want... He is a class driver. He was a legend. But he is so unimpressive this year. As in, he is so far back in midfield one. At least Leclerc has moments. Vettel is just taking up a space on the grid. And I think you can say that about a lot of drivers this year. But this was just such a dull race. Except it was exciting seeing the punctures and stuff. And when it takes that to brighten up a race, it's poor. Formula 3, I've only watched the first race of Formula 3. That was a really good race. There's a lot of crashes which kept interrupting it, but even in between that, watching the Primas try and track down Lawson, and Lawson holding Piastri off. Formula 3 was really good, you should watch it. Formula 2, usually pretty good, you should watch it. I haven't watched it yet. Formula 1 is the one you can probably skip, because it's just not as entertaining. If you just said, right, Formula 1 is cancelled this year, it's pointless, null and void. Formula 2 is the top motorsport championship this year. That would be fine. The drivers are good enough and it's entertaining enough. So watch Formula 2 and Formula 1, and watch Formula 2 instead of Formula 1. And that's the note I'm going to leave you on. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe. Hopefully we'll get a more interesting race next week at the 70th anniversary race, also at Silverstone. Really pisses me off that they didn't go to a different circuit. You've got Donington, even Brands Hatch, maybe, probably not. But Donington you could. And just 2 races in a row at Silverstone is probably going to be about the same. Apparently it's hotter next week. Apparently they're using a softer tyre compound, so maybe there'll be even more punctures. Because there won't be any overtaking. And Hamilton will probably win. So look forward to that one next week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.